Hi folks, I'm Matt and welcome to My Expanded Universe, a show where I go through the entire EU in chronological order as best I know how. And now that I'm not talking about Ewok comic books, guess who decided not to show up? That's alright, but we don't need them, do we, EU? Right. Okay, so today we're going to talk about the Droids comic books. Not the Marvel ones from the cartoon series. We're going to talk about the ones from Dark Horse Comics. Now to begin, we're going to start with the Droids Special written by Dan Thorsland. Now in this issue, the droids encounter galactic criminal Olag Grek at Haas Station. Now Olag is going to be the ongoing criminal, the nemesis for them for the first six issues of the series. So this kind of sets up, who the bad guy is going to be for the next few issues and what's going on with the droids. When this takes place, this is before they meet the rebellion and they're kind of just wandering through the galaxy, C-3PO and R2 having their own adventures. IG-88 also does make an appearance in the special, which is kind of cool. But anyway, let's get into the first six issues, which is kind of called, it was collected in something called the Calabar Adventures. Yeah, Calabar Adventures. And so in issue number 1, R2 and C-3PO babysit Nak. He's the grandson of a baron who gets captured by Olag and is held for ransom so that Olag can get the baron to give him a special hyperdrive unit. He wants these hyperdrive units and the baron has it and he's holding his son hostage. And of course R2-D2 and C-3PO have to rush to the rescue. And you'll kind of see this is kind of the ongoing theme because in issue 2, Captain Chuba is framed by Olag and gets captured. And once again, R2-D2 and C-3PO race to the rescue. Now this one's kind of funny because in it, R2-D2 ends up becoming the pirate's captain for a short time, but he decides he doesn't want it and gives it back to Captain Chuba. So there is, in these comic books, droids humor, meaning the droids have always been kind of funny and maybe the jesters of the series. And they were funny in the cartoon, and they're also comedic in this comic book series. Now, next up is issue 3, where C-3PO is mistaken for Olag's droid 3PX, and 3PX is programmed to kill. Now, I want to say something real quick. I'm going to talk about this later, but the cover, that cover with 3PX, at first you thought was 3PO who was pointed. Now, I didn't get these when they came out for whatever reason I'll talk about later, but I remember seeing that cover and going, whoa, did someone change 3PO's programming? That cover grabs you in. They had some really good covers for this. In actuality, 3PX doesn't do that much, and he gets killed quite easily. Now 3PX does have a history though within the Star Wars EU. This isn't his first chronological appearance, but it is his first published appearance. But 3PX has a little sordid history here. But this is the comic book where we get to see him in action, or not really. It's actually pretty funny how he gets killed. But anyway, I don't want to spoil that. But let's go into the 4th issue here. And this one, Captain Formo enlists 3PO and R2 to help her retrieve some crystals from the planet Indabuk, which is guarded by rock creatures. And again, hilarity ensues. Now, next up is issue 5, where R2 uncovers a illegal blaster manufacturer and kind of shuts it down with the help of QE and 2E, which are these two little droids. They're featured there in the cover there. And they act like little baby droids, little kitty droids. And they're really well drawn, but there's not much to this story like all the stories you think with the covers. Oh man, this is going to be good. This is interesting stuff. And the stories just aren't as popping. But I'm getting ahead of myself here. Now, the next one is a short mini story called R2-D2's Day Out. It's just a mini series where R2-D2 gets captured and then he returns back safe. I don't really recall off the top of my head what it was in because I have the trade for this and it's just listed there in the trade in between issues 5 and 6. But so if you get the trade paperback, it'll be there. And that's even in the Dark Horse Omnibus, and I'm sure if they've reprinted with Marvel, they also put that one in there as well. But anyway, the final issue, in issue 6, a power core rupture on Hosk leaves R2-D2 and C-3PO to fight for their lives. And they're trying to save a moon from a big smelter droid, and Olag meets his final end. All of this comes together. This is actually a pretty enticing story. And if you like the droids, it's actually worth your time. Now, like I said, the covers look better than the book story. It actually is. I remember when these came out, I didn't get them because I didn't have interest because, man, you know, what is it? Tales of the Jedi was out. Rogue Squadron was out. You know, Dark Empire. There were so many. Jabba the Hutt. Okay, maybe there weren't so many great comic books coming out, but there was other comic books I was getting, and I just, for some reason, just didn't get Droids. I don't remember why. But I remember always thinking the covers look cool. Now, I couldn't find a complete individual issue series, but when the first trade paperback came out, I went ahead and bought it. I said, here, that'll save me the time than tracking down those issues. Not that I couldn't find them at the time. I'm sure I could have, but it's just easier to get a trade. That's why I tell anyone, if you want to get the individual issues, it's much better buying the trade. Believe me, they go nice on a bookshelf. If I had it to do all over again, I would have bought all Dark Horse Omnibus trades, okay? I wouldn't have bought the individual issues, comic books that I have. I'm glad I have them, but I would trade them for the omnibuses, I think. Anyway, so the 6-part series is ho-hum, it's okay. Not as good as I think it should have been. But I don't know if that's anyone's fault because at this point Dark Horse is just throwing stuff out there to see what sticks. And this was one that wasn't really well known back in the day. When we were reading comic books, no one was talking about droids. Rogue Squadron, Dark Empire, Tales of the Jedi, that's what the hype was about. So this one kind of got lost in the shuffle and the mix, at least for the first 6 issues. Now for the rest of them, well, you'll have to find out next time in another video. So until then, what's that, EU? Lurdo stuck in a well? Oh, you want to take me out to a nice place to eat? Oh, well, hey, why not? Let's go. All right, folks, we'll see you later.